The fourth flight of the X-51 Waverider started 2 days before the flight as Air Force and Boeing crews positioned and attached the X-51 into place on the wing of a B-52.
Today is basically a health check for the aircraft. Then we'll do some final checks with the booster. The booster will be set up to be ready to be armed, so we'll do some continuity checks and all of that.
Paul Segman has worked on the X-51 program for 7 years as a software engineer and has been part of each flight.
Success is what we expect, but you know, it's great to see it up there, and we're just hoping for a good flight.
On the morning of the flight, final preparations were made. The B-52 flight crew was ready, and so was the X-51.
It's right on target, and we're working really good. It's working good and ready for flight.
With the X-51 firmly tucked under its wing, the B-52 swung into position and then roared down runway 4 at Edwards Air Force Base and took off toward the Pacific Ocean.
We're all sitting there just biting our nails going, oh, please make this thing happen.
Joe Vogel and his team were looking to achieve 2 main objectives for the flight: fly the X-51 at the hypersonic speed of Mach 5, which is more than a mile a second, until the fuel runs out, and also study the transition from ethylene fuel to liquid jet fuel.
So we started with an easier gas that will ignite more easily, and then we transition to a more storable fuel that allows us to have a more storable and a higher quantity to go throughout the mission.
At nearly 50,000 feet, the B-52 released the X-51 over the sea range at Point Mugu Naval Air Warfare Center. Once released, a solid rocket booster from a U.S. Army tactical missile accelerated the X-51 to about Mach 4.5 before the booster and a connecting interstage were jettisoned. From that point, the X-51 supersonic combustion scramjet engine took over and pushed the vehicle to hypersonic speeds of Mach 5, nearly 4,000 miles an hour.
And the vehicle flew like a bat out of hell. It was just going, and you could see the fuel being sucked up, you could see the acceleration climbing, and it was moving.
After more than 3 minutes of powered flight with the scramjet engine as planned, the X-51 made a controlled dive into the Pacific Ocean, ending the test but providing Boeing and the Air Force with plenty of information to study regarding hypersonic flight.
There's a lot of learning that will be leveraged by our government, the Boeing company, and academia for years to come from this mission and previous missions, and it's just the beginning. So I think that's what the key is. It's just the beginning of a new era in air travel.